Hi everyone, it's Bongo here from the Poultry People, and I thought I'd give you an update on what's been happening. Some of you know what's been happening already, and others you aren't on Facebook, so you don't know what's been happening. I didn't put it on the Poultry People page, I just might put it on my own personal page. So a week ago today, I was in the shed with Vinny, and we were working together on a project. Nothing strenuous. We weren't shifting snooker tables or anything like that, or huge pieces of slate or all that. Although I had been moving some big pieces of slate during the week and doing a bit of heavy lifting, so that might have helped. But I had a stroke, and it was quite interesting to say the least. And I recorded part of it as it was happening in the shed, and I'll play that for you now.
Hi everyone, it's Bongo here, the Poultry People. I think I'm having a stroke. Vinny's gonna have to take me to the hospital in a minute. This is a different stroke. Fucking hell. I'm in a stroke. I'm recording this good videos to do for the internet. Oh my god, this is terrible. I don't sound like I'm pissed. A bit slower. My mouth feels weird. My arm. I can't use the lighter. Fuck. Hospital now. Probably gonna be a few hours at least.
Probably gonna be a couple of hours.
Oh, Vinny's gonna take me to the hospital.
Probably only be a couple of hours.
Fucking hell.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. At the time it was really funny in some ways, and other ways it was quite scary as well. So how it started was we were working together on some chairs. He was outside and I was inside cutting the wood. So I've gone to put my hand on the saw, and it felt weird. Felt like it just felt really weird. And then I started feeling a bit odd down the leg here, and I think I might have sat down, and maybe I had a little bit of problem swallowing, which I still do a little bit. So anyway, it passed after about a minute or two, and I went and talked to Vinny, because I really like Vinny. He's a good guy, and I can pretty much talk to him about anything. And I said, Vinny, I feel really weird. Something just happened then, and I don't know what it was. Now, I'm not going to lie, we've been smoking dope all morning, like we do, and we had a chat and said it didn't feel like I was having some whitey or anything along those lines. It just didn't feel like that. So I said to him, look, just keep an eye on me, and if it goes, we might have to go to hospital or something along those lines. We'll see it again. Not fortunately, but his father had a stroke about a month earlier, so Vinny was up to speed on what that means and what that entails. So anyway, I go back inside the shed and I do something else, and I can feel it coming on again. And so, right, I'll go and sit down. And as I go and sit down, boom, I sit down hard on the stool that was there. This arm then starts feeling really weird. It's feeling numb up here. The leg not so much so, but it was. I don't think I'd tried speaking then. Anyway, that came again. A couple of minutes passed, and I'm back to normal. Then another one a couple of minutes later, a bit worse this time, and I'm not sure if I started speaking to Vinny. Vinny, there's something wrong with my voice. I don't know what it is. Well, mine's sparking hard as it normally does, but I'm also can't speak. It's like I'm drunk. It's like I'm fighting to get my words out. Dave's here now. I'm going to get back to this in a minute. Right, Dave.
Hello, mate.
Well, that was Dave. Dave's a great guy. He had a lot of issues last year with his partner passing away and all the rest of it. And he's just come back from India, his first ever holiday abroad. And he went to India and sounded like he had a great time. So that was good. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So I told Vinny, I'm not all that. Your brain's firing as normal, so it's a bit hard to understand why this is happening to you. Your arm was going dead at the same time, just dropping. You hadn't put effort in there to hold it up. And speaking, you know you can speak, and you can sort of tell your nerves what to do. Force your nerves. So some of them you can't. The drooping bit, or where one side's smiling, the other side isn't. That you can't. But it feels like you can sort of control and force your speech. And if I was getting hard and getting angry with myself, I could force myself to speak. Anyway, it happened again a couple more times, and it got to the point where I couldn't speak, and I'm like, I can't communicate here. This is really frustrating when you can't communicate. Very frustrating. And right, I'll use a pen and paper to talk to Vinny. So Vinny, pen, paper. He passes me a pen and paper, and it's fine in this hand. I've got the paper in this hand, and in this hand I've got a pen. I managed to pick a pen up like that, and it's in my hand like this. I get the V in there, and then and I'm like, oh my god, what? Then I get really angry with myself, force the arm down, then for the N, and for the other N, then for the Y, and I show it to Vinny. That says Vinny. And then I came round again, and I'm back to normal, back to sparking away. Mind's working spot on, speech is fine. I'm like, this is so strange. We had a chat, and sort of said, right, this is a stroke. What do we do? What should we do? And I said, I'm going to ring 111. It's the NHS direct number where you can phone up. You can either get advice over the internet, or you can ring up and speak to an actual, I think it's a nurse or some sort of qualified health professional, and they will advise you. So I ring 111 up, and the first thing it does, it kicks into an automated message saying, this service is not available in your country, you stupid Welsh bastard. Didn't say that bit at the end, but it said, yeah, it's not available to you because you live in Wales. Even though we live in the UK, I live in Wales, which is a separate country from England, and we have got our own NHS type system, same sort of thing, a few little differences, and the 111 number is not available in Wales if you live in Wales. What they tell you to do is ring your out of hours GP service. So you have to now find the number for the out of hours GP service. You could use your phone. Luckily I was in the shed, so I could use the computer and quickly bring it up. Found the out of hours service, rang it up. It then goes, hello, thanks for ringing us. Press 1 for English, 2 for Welsh, or the other way around. Then you go through that, and it goes, if you think you are having a heart attack or stroke or something else, please ring 999. Hang up, ring 999. Tell her, I think I'm having a stroke. And of course, it doesn't sound like you're having a stroke, does it? This was another problem later on in the day. I'll get to that. And then she rang me through a series of pre-prepared questions, obviously about having a stroke. Then she said, "Okay, stay there and we'll be with you." And I said, "What, you're going to send an ambulance out to me?" "Yes." "Okay, what's the ambulance going to do? Is it likely to take me to the nearest hospital?" And she went, "Yes." I said, "Right, okay then, don't send an ambulance. We're going to go straight there. My friend is going to take me straight there right now. Because I live 18 miles away from the ambulance station, and it's rural. There's no way they're getting up there to here in less than 30 minutes. So, if you're having a stroke, if there's somebody there with you, get them to take you immediately to the hospital. If they're not there, ring next door neighbour, ring your friends, somebody close. If it's going to be closer than having an ambulance sent out to you, get a friend to do it straight away. Get in that car and get down there. Don't leave it long at all. There's a golden hour. I think it's 4.5 hours or something from having it to getting there for the treatment that you've really got to get onto it. So right. So Vinny takes me down there, and there's all sorts of shenanigans on the way down. I had another one in the van on the way down, and I'm now falling around the front of his van, not able to do much for myself. And it was hilarious. It really was, because I wasn't in any pain at the time either. But to be in that sort of semi-drunken type scenario, it was comical. And so get to the hospital. Get my little cup of tea together. Get to the hospital. Go up to the desk. "I think I'm having a stroke." I don't think they took me too seriously, because I went then and sat down in the waiting area, and I'm not sure how long I was there for. Maybe only as much as 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Jan had turned up by now, my long-suffering girlfriend, and I was having another attack then, and she was like, "What the fuck?" She marches up to reception. "Look, get him sorted out. He's having a stroke. You can't just be waiting in a waiting room for that to happen." Went through into the triage. The bloke saw me having an episode, and it was like, right, okay. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle there where I got something to do with the notes, but anyway, I ended up sitting in a corridor for about half an hour or so, maybe an hour, while they all got sorted out. And they were asking me, of course, when did the first one happen, yada yada. And I had to go then into their workshop area for them to start working on me. I think I went for a CT scan first.
So I'm at the hospital now, and they've just done the CT brain scan, and they've done my blood, and they fiddled around with my feet and stuff, and they looked at the CT scan, and they can't see any bleeding. They're gonna give me some aspirin. It's Saturday and I want to be in my workshop making things with wood. Look. Hospital bollocks. This isn't even on. Oh, what you gonna do?
Because there's a few things that people know and people don't know, like taking aspirin for strokes, because it thins the blood. However, if there's a clot and there's a bleed. If you're having a bleed on the brain and you take aspirin, it makes it worse. So you really need to make sure what's happening is right before you try and do something about it yourself. Into the back bit of into the working part of the hospital now, on a trolley, take me for a CT scan, get the results. Oh yeah, it's a clot. Boom, clot busting drugs.
You fucking idiot. Oh, I forgot to press the record button.
What's that?
I forgot to press the record button.
Oh, no. Are you going to video it?
Yeah. Seems to get. Oh god, I can't. Speech gone again.
Has it gone again?
It's gone again, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is normal.
And on today's programme, what's this machine called?
This is just an infusion pump, and we're just giving you some medication to lower your blood pressure.
How do you use an infusion pump? It's Bongo and David.
Which make your blood thinner, which clears out the clot. Something along those lines. I'm not expert on this, and I still am a bit fuzzy on some stuff. So anyway, they put the drug in me, and it does what it needs to do. Thins the blood so much my nose bleeds. It erupts blood, and I had nosebleeds for 2-3 days as it wore itself. I was retching a lot as well, and the retching was causing high blood pressure. And I was getting more nosebleeds. It was pretty gross, to tell you the truth. And I was also lying in bed with those little cardboardy sick basins that they give you, and as I'm retching bile into it, my nose is pouring blood into it, and then I go and knock it all over myself and the bed, so I'm lying in my own bile and blood. Oh dear God. So then I was admitted to the hospital, into the actual ward itself, after I'd had the clot busting drugs for the care and recovery to start taking place, and the headache to kick in. Headache was tied into the blood pressure. My blood pressure when I went in there was like 200 over something. It was really high. Oh, they had to put me on a blood pressure. I was put on a drip. One had saline in it, and the other one had a blood pressure drug in it. That they measure your blood pressure, and then they set the machine to release the amount of chemical for the amount of blood pressure that you've got, to start bringing it down. They have to start taking your blood pressure every hour, and they set the machine to match the blood pressure every hour throughout the night, throughout the day, throughout the night, throughout the day. And when your blood pressure's high, it starts hurting, and then repeated. You give them 24 a day, it starts hurting a fair bit, especially when your blood pressure is high. It really hurts. So that's coming your way if this is going to happen to you, maybe. So yeah, stabilise me. The body says sleep. You're going to want to sleep to recover over this. I slept for about 4 days. I don't think I was able to stay awake much longer than 5 minutes at a time. Quite a few people came to see me, and I was sort of roused by, I had a room to myself, and I was sort of roused by people in the room, and I'd turn around, and it'd be somebody like Des, or Vinny, or Jan, and who else came? I've forgotten. We had a few people come round anyway, which was nice, but you're like, "You right, mate, I've had a stroke. I'm probably falling asleep now." And you'd wake up and they'd be gone. because they can't stay around while you're sleeping, and there's not a lot they can do anyway. And actually it's quite nice to have peace, quiet, and in a hospital that's not, because there's alarms going off everywhere as well. The machine that you're hooked up to, when it starts running out, it beeps. The battery powered a lot, so they can be moved about and they beep when they're running low on battery and stuff like that. The body says sleep a lot. Ugh. Yeah, body says sleep. So I did about 4 days worth of sleep and got a really good rest out of it. Unfortunately, there was a headache throughout it all the time because the blood pressure was so high. That was a bit annoying. And I think the more time I spent lying down, that wasn't good for me either. And you slowly started getting up more over the next few days. Headache came down, blood pressure came.
It's day 5 now, I think. I've managed to get out of bed. Headache's gone. I've had a nice shower. They've taken really good care of me here. That's a spuzzy gland fluid. And I'd probably be home now in a day or two. Because I'm missing my Mr. Butters very much. And I can't wait to go and see him again. What a sod.
Then only
down to about, I think it was about 145 or something like that when they let me out. In the day before, they thought I was it's about 145, so that came right down. So that was sort of my stay in hospital, and there's lots of incidentals and stuff like that going on, stuff I've forgotten. Did a bit of physio. I was really lucky. It's really important that you don't dismiss it if you're having a stroke. Don't think, I'll just go to bed and sleep it off, because I could have done that. I nearly did that. I nearly didn't go to hospital, and he went, oh fuck this, I'm just going to go to bed, get a cup of tea, sleep for the night, I'll be alright. And from speaking to other people afterwards, and thinking about my father as well, who'd had his stroke, you have a minor one, and you think, oh, it's just minor, I'll go to bed, sleep it off. And then the second one is so much more hardcore. My father's first stroke, we think he slept it, he just went to bed, thought, fuck it off, I'll go to bed. And his second one hit him like a ton of bricks, proper paralysed half the side of his body. I was in hospital for months. I was only 7 at the time, I don't really remember it that well, but we went to live with a relative, because my mother was then also taking major care of him while he was in hospital, because there'll be a lot of bodily functions need tidying up and keeping well, and the more help the nurses can get at times, especially back in the day as well, we're talking 1976 here, I think, the better for them. If you can wipe a bottom for someone, give them a bath, it takes a lot of pressure off nursing services. And so don't go to bed. Don't dismiss it as just, oh, it's just one of those things. Because I could have, after I'd had the 4th or 5th one, I'd come back to normal. I'm like, oh, nothing wrong with me. I'll just stay up. Okay, no, you've got to get to hospital. You've got to get yourself seen. If it's a clot or a bleed on the brain, that needs sorting out there and then. And you've got it's a short period of time to get it done in. It's about 4 or 5 hours, which is quite a long period of time, but it's also not a long period of time. And you can't just think, oh, I'll be alright. I heard it quite a few times over the last week or so. Yeah, we think my dad just went home and slept it off. Yeah, I just slept it off. Because there was a few blokes in that hospital ward. I was in a room of my own, and they moved me into, after about 5 days, they moved me into a room with a lot of other men who'd had them, and they were there on their first one. By Christ, they've been hit hard by it, really hard by it. So get yourself medical attention as soon as possible. That's about That's about the best thing I can tell you about this incident, really, that might help. Or if someone's having one, you're there with them, or they've rang you and said, I don't think I've had a stroke. Get to hospital, you fucking mad bastard. No messing about. Don't care how tough you are. This is an internal brain thing now. You might be able to take a punch and smash your hands with hammers as you're working on something, but inside your brain there's a whole different tricky little kettle of fish going on. And it's the control bit, and it's breakable in a way that, I mean, fingers heal, cuts and stuff like that heal. You can't do much about the brain inside. You need somebody else to look at that for you. Some memory loss involved. I was sat in bed there, and your brain's made up out of all these little memory connections in a line. Parts of that line have now been broken because of the stroke. So my sister came up and saw me, and she was saying, "Oh, Mum was in one of these beds." And you remember, and her feet kept touching the bottom of the bed. And I was like, Mum? Oh yeah, she's dead. I'd forgot my mum had died. And my dad had died. And my best mate had died. Forgotten them. It was like, ooh. They hit me back again. Your emotions and how you remember that. There's lots of layers that are controlling the outwardness of that. I've noticed it a few times in hospital. They also get disrupted. 2-3 times I burst into tears because of something or other that was upsetting me, or something. And now normally they wouldn't upset you, because it's been a good year or so since my mother died. I'm past that. It's sad on the inside, but on the outside, life happens. But that veneer, that barrier that stops the sad on the inside manifesting itself on the outside, that breaks down. So breaking into tears and stuff like that, worrying about other people. Janice told me that she fell down just as we were leaving the hospital, and she, I fell down the other day, tripped, and I burst into tears at that, because that made me sad that she'd been hurt. You get me? It's funny. Also, things that are funny burst out. There was a few things on the news and in the ward when they said it. It was fucking comical. Newcastle has a guide pony. Training up a guide pony for the blind. I think that cracked us right up. Woman walking a Shetland pony with a high-vis jacket on the train. Ward erupted at that. That was just... Can't make that sort of stuff up, you know what I mean? That was great. That was really funny. And it's like, yeah. So the batters, whereas before, that's mildly funny. It was like, what? Yeah, we had a good laugh at that. Physiotherapy wasn't bad. I think because I'd been seen quick enough. Boom. It's all coming back quite quick for me. I've been really lucky on that. Don't know if it's picking it up on here. I think it's okay. A little bit of difficulty swallowing, but not too difficult that I have to have a liquid thickener. If you've had a really bad one, instead of you being able to swallow properly, well, you're swallowing, but you're sending it down into your lung, and that's not good. So that's something that they sort out by putting thicker liquids. They put a thickener in your normal liquid, so you're not putting it down into your lungs, it's actually going down into your stomach. Did a few jigsaws while I was in there. You can sort of force your bad side to grab the jigsaw bits and then put them in the right place. Whoa, that was quite interesting to do, quite difficult to do, frustrating to do. And they also had a few, what are they called, like a solitaire board, and you've got to put different size, not different size, you've just got to put pins in the holes. And funnily enough, when they learned I was a carpenter, or a wood bodger. They were like, "Can you make us some of those? Obviously, when you're better." I was like, "Yes, it'd be my pleasure." So that's gonna be a project that's coming up. Is physiotherapy board that you put pins in, just a box with some dowels in it, and then you take the lid off, and there's holes there to put the pins in like that. So that was quite interesting, and the physiotherapist as well, originally from a village nearby. The last time I saw her was in the 70s at Gymkhana. And it was like, oh, small world, small world. So what's the future going to hold? Unless I change my diet, start doing more exercise, stop smoking. Probably more of them, can't have that. So we're going to be looking at diet changes, going to be looking at exercise, less drinking, less smoking, all the rest of it. Going to see my doctor, fruit. My doctor's a fruit. Oh my god. So it's been interesting. It really has been interesting. And I should make a full, good recovery. 2 weeks of rest now, at least. A month rest, more like it. I'm not allowed to drive from 4 weeks from the date of it happening. So I won't be driving for a while. The NHS was great. The staff were great. Really nice, really kind, really patient. Understaffed. They're struggling. They are struggling. But they're doing their best. The ones that are there really are doing their best. And it's a great system, the NHS. It's free, although it's not free. Nothing's free. It's paid for by our taxes. But we all pay taxes every day. We buy things, pay taxes on them. Pay bills, you pay taxes on them. Buy fuel, pay fuel duty, which is tax. Everything's taxed, and it goes around nicely. I don't know how much it would have cost me to be in hospital for 7 days. Don't have insurance. It's just something I can't afford to do. The NHS is a wonderful system, maintained by wonderful people. Maintained, provided for, serviced by, I don't know. But there's some great staff working there, and it's nice. It's multicultural as well. It's like loads of people, different parts of the world, all working together to make people better, make a better life for themselves. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Whew, I'm getting pretty tired now. The sun's nice though. I've got projects in the bag, stuff that I've done already, so I'm going to be doing some more stuff, a few little tables and stuff like that. I'm just going to see how it goes. I've got a lot of men's shed stuff to do that I haven't really gone into yet with the channel. Something I'm really involved with, so I'm good with. It was quite nice as well being in the hospital to talk to some of the other men there about men's sheds and what that means. And there's a really nice guy there I met called Alex, and he'd had a stroke in Spain while he was actually on stage playing guitar. A stroke and a heart attack, and now he's back in the UK getting medical treatment here. Because he was a local lad as well from Ruthin, not far away, but he was sort of stuck in the hospital. I think he was still recovering a bit. He didn't look 100%. But yeah, still recovering in the hospital, but he needs to have a place to go and live in before they let him out. So I'm going to make some inquiries there. I'm going to see if I can ask a few people down in local town I know and at men's sheds if they can help this guy. And well, we were talking about men's sheds. He knew about it. He says that's really great. Yeah, he actually does some sort of charity for charity, some support mechanism from musicians. That's of a similar kind. Because he said so many of my musician friends have gone to alcohol and died from alcohol. So if he can do something like that, if I can get him involved with something here that might help him, and we just all help each other out. I'm going to need to help him find a flat, I think, for him to come out and move into. I'll touch base with him a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that when I'm. Anyway, I'm home. We've got a Mr. Butters here somewhere. Not too sure where he is. We've had a little bit of a fist fight already. He won. Yeah, he won the first fist fight we've had. No, he's hiding at the moment. He'll probably run out of food or something along those lines. But yeah, slowly back up to speed, slowly getting better. I have got to take it easy and not spin round like I normally do, like a whirling dervish. Whew, half an hour's worth of talking. Thanks for watching. I do like this. I do like reading your comments. Please read the comments on this one as well, because there's bound to be some of you who have been here and who are going to be able to say, "Oh, Bongo, have you done this? This happened to me. This happened to my friend." There'll be more information in the comments as people see it and relate to it a bit. I'm having a stroke. Thanks very much. And if you're feeling good, crack on and make something. I'm looking forward to going back into my workshop and making something. It should be a good one. Those things for the physiotherapy department, that's going to be a good karma thing. Yeah, that'll be good to do. All the best. Thanks for watching. If you're thinking of going indoors, a test you should do first. Or if your husband or your wife goes, "Oh, I don't feel too well, I'm going to go to bed for a bit." Go, "Why are you going to bed?" Get to the heart of the reason. A couple of tests you can do, and that's get them to smile and see if the cheekbones. I mean, I've got a bit of fat face with a beard, but check that both sides are going up properly. And there's another one where you hold up the arms like that. This hand was unaffected. This side was affected. Now, when they were doing this one was put your arms out in front of you, and I'd be doing this, and then I'd move that up, and then it'd be drifting. And they call it actually drifting. So you're having to put effort into this. This side's a piece of business. This side's taking effort to hold there. So that's quite a good way of testing. And then that way you know one half of the brain is getting buggered about by something. Don't let your loved one go to bed. Make sure they get checked out. That's all the advice. One of the only bits of good advice I can give you. Don't go to bed. Go and get it checked out. I mean, what was it? Was it Saturday? Weekend. A&E. Oh fuck. I mean, I looked up at when I was sat in A&E, and I looked up at the monitor on the wall that said waiting times, and it said 5 hours. That was that's quite off-putting. But if they know you're having a stroke, they will get on it fairly sharpish. You might need to take somebody with you, because you might be in no fit state to go back and say, "Look, I'm really getting fucked up here. Can you jump on it?" You might have to have someone go and do it for you. Because I was sat there slumped, couldn't really do anything. At this point, I'm on my 6th or 7th or whatever it was, maybe more. No mood to do anything. Managed to get up and use the toilet, and that was about it. And that was a struggle. Wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. And oddly enough, as I came out of the toilet, somebody collapsed in front of me, and I had to go and find a nurse for them. I've forgotten about that. Don't go to bed. Don't get yourself sorted out. Life's too short. You're not doing yourself a favour, any favour, by going to bed, if that's happening to you. No favours at all. Right, let's get on to the real important stuff. You know what's coming up. Everybody loves Mr. Butters. What are you doing? Are you eating? What are you eating?